So back then when I was a teenager and about to become an aspiring young man, I thought that the most important and most valuable skills are making money, having girlfriends, being able to have more relationships, being able to do more money, learn more, and so on and so forth. And so perhaps all these things are super important. But as I've evolved as a person, spiritually, mentally, physically, on every single level, I realized something. There is a dynamics which is completely the opposite of these things, which is perhaps the greatest blessing and the best thing, or quote unquote best exercise that we can do. So what is that thing? And so the thing is just simply being able to control our desires. Self-control, impulse control, and being able to conduct our mind space in such a way where we are able to quote unquote handle these desires that we do have. So for example, there is also a Stoic quote which says that, I'm just paraphrasing over here, man is not wealthy when he possesses a lot, but he's wealthy when he doesn't need much. And I know that the quote, it's definitely not like this, but this is the actual meaning. So I was paraphrasing here. Sorry about this. And so the idea is that if we have a lot, we think that we will still need something, and we are just lost in this illusion and this mindset that, hey man, if I will be buying the 7th car, then somehow I will be solving this ache inside of my body, or somehow I will be able to be more, or be more for life. And there's no problem with buying 7 cars. The problem begins when we are trying to satisfy ourselves with something else, with another thing. And so this is the core principle idea in Stoicism, self-control, being able to reflect on the subjective experience, not on the outsider occurrences, but to always be content with the subjective inside experience. The core idea inside of Buddhism, hey, the core of suffering, the core of suffering is desires, and somehow in Christianity too, the sins are completely bonded with wanting more and wanting things. And so this is the core idea pretty much, and people have figured this thing out like thousands of years ago. It's like 10,000 years ago. So this is the idea over here. And so what I've got to realize is that I am the most content, and let's talk about subjective experience. I'm the most content, and I'm the feeling quote unquote the best, and I have the best human experience, and I'm projecting my best personality towards everyone else too, when I'm in this place of not having many desires, of not wanting. Because as soon as I want something, I'm just getting into this childish state of, I want something, I have to go after the thing. I cannot, I cannot just be chill. I cannot just, be content with myself. And so, again, there is no such thing as problems with these things. The problem begins when we are trying to actually go after these things and not being able to control those things, because desires will, by their nature, will just simply occur. And so if we possess the character traits which are required for us to be able to control them, which are required for us to be able to deal with them, then we can say that, hey, yes, of course, bro, I want to go out and party tonight, but I'm running my business, and now I need impulse control for maybe 2 or 3 more years, up until the point where we are able to build up the operations until a point where I can do those things. And again, I'm pretty sure that when you are getting to that place in entrepreneurship, your value system will so much be so much changed that you will not be craving to party anymore, and also your age will change too. So with that being said, coming back to the main idea, the biggest thing is not to be able to make money, or to have more girlfriends, is to read more or learn more. The biggest thing and the best thing that will make us the happiest, will help us to progress the most, will be dealing with our desires. And so again, there are two ways how we can actually fulfill our desires if we do have a desire. The very first one is to let them go. This is what I was talking about mostly, and control them. The second one would be that we are just simply satisfying them. But here's the thing: if we want to satisfy all the desires, that will not work. That will not work. But the problem will still remain here. So we'll have to solve those desires problem. And so the best thing that I've found is to be able to control ourselves and to be able to control our mind spaces in a way where we can actually create this mental clarity for ourselves. And this is my journey, and this is one of my biggest realizations in monk mode. So for example, today I woke up and I'm still feeling that, hey, I still want to make a lot of money, have a lot of friends, all the good stuff, but I'm not like desperately craving any of those things. And I do understand that things, and perhaps these things do take time. You know, the only thing that I can do is like put in the work, like put in the input, and the output to follow someday. And these are the ideas. And when we are operating from this place of, hey, I'm putting the inputs in, I'm doing the best that I can human possibly can do today, then, you know, tomorrow, maybe not, I will not have the results, but maybe in 10 years I will have the results. And so life is not linear, but you know, we as human beings, and especially when we are driven by emotions and from this urgency, from the state of, hey man, I need to get these things, then you are so much, you know, like shackled that it's unimaginable. You're just like a prisoner of your own self. I remember when I was a child, I was a pornography addict. Oh man, like I was driven by pornography all the time. Like I had to do something. I was craving dopamine, like new dopamine all the time. Like all the time I had to do something, you know, like video games, pornography. I wasn't free. Nowadays I'm feeling way much more free because I can live through a day without, you know, even using social media and things. I have like so many thoughts because I'm just allowing them to flow. And with that being said, just to recap everything, when we don't have enough self-consciousness and self-discipline in regards to being able to actually handle the desires that we do have, then we are very, very much like prone to get into this disturbance which are caused by desires when we are just pulled towards those directions regardless of what we would really want inside of our souls. We are getting fooled easier, way easier by the world, by all the other things out there. We are rushing towards something. We are unable to really be in the present moment, and we are just a weaker person in general. From this, we can conclude that the best skills, and especially in 2023, when we have like so much impulses that are reaching ourselves in terms of media, in terms of people, social media, like so many information that is hammered, that we are hammered with, that this is one of the best skills. So impulse control and being able to control our desires. And when we are able to do that, then we are left with two tools. So basically with two things that we'll have to satisfy, which are either we are satisfying the desires, or second, we are letting go of the desires. And so when we are able to control our desires, we'll have less control, we will have less desires. And when we are also able to fulfill the desires, because we learn to be content and we learn how to, you know, stick with things, then we are also getting to a place when we have less and less desires. And so a last idea is like think about desires as debt, okay? So when you have a debt, you cannot stay chill. When you are in debt, you cannot stay chill because you know that you owe something to someone, and you cannot stay chill. You know, it's like you to the bank or money, or you know, to a friend. Like you just have something back of your mind. It's like I have to do that thing, you know. And these are desires, and the more desires we do have, the more debts we have. Because desires can only disappear in two ways. Let them go, which is the hardest. I will tell you, bro. I was going through a fucking hard monk mode series throughout my last 1.5 years, and letting go shit is not easy. It's hard as hell, spiritually, and excuse me for the language here. So think of desires as debts, and don't try to crave much. But this, again, it doesn't mean that you don't try to, have desires, but the most important thing is not to have 100 desires, but try to find one which is the most meaningful and try to pursue that one only. And this is again where impulse control backs up the whole system, because you will not be just like jerked like a puppet. It's like, hey, I saw a new business model, I'm jumping in the, hey, here's a new instrument, I started to play the piano tomorrow, drop the guitar, next day you're starting to playing the tube, bro, pick up your shit, follow the path, stay on the path, and be content with yourself. Love.